Hello students, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to give you 11 latest defense updates. Number 1. Tejas Mk2 to get weapons integrated in multiple phases. India's upcoming Tejas Mk2 fighter jet will enter production in IAF squadron while having no less than 5 weapon systems that will be initially cleared for the aircraft program as per information coming just before the much anticipated Aero India 2023. Wing Tip Close Combat Missiles, that is CCM, which is likely to be SRAM, ASRAAM, and 2 beyond visual range air-to-air missiles, which are likely to be Astra Mk1 and Mk2. Along with that, they will get smart bombs like SAAW and Lizard laser guided bombs as weapon initially when it joins IAF. Next, Indian Army issues RFI for drone jammer, that is way-based. Indian Army has issued RFI, that is request for information, for 20 drone jammer way-based to provide multi-sensor based complete and comprehensive solutions with regard to UAS drone and swarms. The system should be capable of UAS drones, swarms, detection, tracking, designation and neutralization of swarm drones, UAS approaching simultaneously from multiple directions. It should integrate all detection sensors and identify threats to provide the operator with composite air situation pictures and facilitate the selection and management of responses for countering UAS drone using jammer systems. Next, why India remains a novoice in the UAVs space. In the 1990s, Aeronautical Development Establishment, that is ADE, was asked to develop Nishant, a remotely pilot aircraft, RPA, to be used for intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance, ISR, roles on its borders with Pakistan and China. India was the first among its peers to have its own indigenous RPA UAV program, but fast forward to 2023 and India is still not where it wanted to be, while even smaller countries have made rapid progress in the area. Indian first RPA Nishant had its the first flight in 1995 and was considered a great advancement at that time. But technical issues and other changing UAV technology meant that ADE was not able to adapt fast to the changes and nor was able to develop a product that met all user requirements. Next, MiG-29K carries out touch and go landing over French aircraft carrier. The 21st edition of the bilateral naval exercise between India and France, exercise Varuna, commenced on the western seaboard. MiG-29K fighter aircraft carried out a mock simulated landing on board the French aircraft carrier Charles de Gaulle. MiG-29K fighter aircraft, which is deck-based fighter jet, flew low over the decks of the Charles de Gaulle but did not land since it is not capable of catobar takeoffs. Next, Fifth Kalveri class Submarine Vagir to be commissioned into Indian Navy on January 23rd. Indian Navy is set to commission the Fifth Kalveri class submarine named Vagir on January 23rd, 2023 to enhance the Indian Navy capability. Admiral R. Hari Kumar, Chief of the Naval Staff, will be the chief guest for the ceremony. These submarines are being built in India by the Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders Limited, that is MDL Mumbai, under collaboration with Messrs Naval Group France. 4 of the Kalveri classes of submarine have already been commissioned into the Indian Navy. The erstwhile Vagir was commissioned on November 1st, 1973 and undertook numerous operational missions, including deterrent patrols. The submarine was decommissioned on January 7, 2001 after serving the nation for about 3 decades. Next, Japan willing to assist India on 5th Gen fighter. Satoshi Suzuki, ambassador of Japan to India, shared his country's interest in participating in the self-reliance initiative through co-development, co-design and co-manufacture, including manufacturing. Suzuki said that Japan is currently developing a successor to the F-2 fighter aircraft that will be retired in the mid-2030s and can assist in India's attempt to develop indigenous 5th generation fighter and future generation naval vessels and submarines. UK, Italy and Japan have joined forces to develop a 6th generation fighter jet as part of a new agreement called the Global Combat Air Program GCAP. Next, India requires 2 SSBNs on petrol for the Nuclear Triad think tank. In this report, Anubhav Shankar Goswami, a research associate at the Center for Air Power Studies in New Delhi, stated that for India to have a credible second strike capability, at least 2 nuclear-powered ballistic missiles carrying intermediate range submarine launch ballistic missiles, that is SLBM, on petrol in deep sea are required. To be credible, Goswami claim of permanent open ocean patrolling requires at least a global format of 4 SSBNs, with 1 boat on patrol, 1 preparing for patrol, 1 returning to port and 1 in maintenance. A global format of 4 SSBN allows for continuous deterrence patrol. Next, Tata introduces the Apache helicopter fuselage for the Indian Army. The first fuselage for the Indian Army's 6 AH-64E Apache attack helicopter contract rolls out of the Tata Advanced and Boeing India facility, a GV, Tata Boeing Aerospace Limited in Hyderabad, and is ready to be shipped to the US facility, where it will be assembled before being returned to India. 5 more will be manufactured soon. So far, 200 fuselages have been prepared and moved for assembly at the TBAL factory in Hyderabad. Every Apache AH-64 helicopter will now have at least some parts manufactured in Hyderabad by TBAL. Next, India and Japan swap pilots for familiarization sorties. As part of Ex-Veer Guardian 2023, an Indian pilot flew in a JASDF F-2 Viper 0 and a Japanese pilot flew on the Indian Sukhoi 30 Mk1. Such swapping of pilot is to get the local experience of the fighter jet that is flown by the host and also vice versa. JASDF is keen to observe the performance of the Indian Sukhoi 30 Mk1 and is keenly learning BVR tactics that are being deployed by the Indian pilots, who for the first time are also simulating using Astra Mk1 BVR missile that has a similar range of the MRAM C5 variant that are also used by the JASDF. Next, India remains in 4th place in the annual Global Firepower ranking. India's ranked 4th out of 145 countries considered for the annual GFP review in 2023. The country has a PVRINDEX score of a 0.1025. A score of 0.0000 is regarded as perfect. The Global Firepower Index is based on 50 distinct factors ranging from geography to logical capability. Maneuver, land forces, air power, natural resources, naval forces, logistics and finances are also included. Trainer fleet, aircraft fleet strength, helicopter fleet, attack fleet, rocket projectors, tank strength, towed artillery, aircraft carrier, naval fleet strength, destroyers, submarines, coastal patrol craft, frigates, mine warfare craft, coastal patrol craft and tankers fleet are the factors considered under equipment.